Okay, so earlier today I went to my son's school to meet with the science teacher because I've just been struggling to kind of understand what they've been doing in class and his grades and stuff. And part of the conversation today, we were talking, well, she was just telling me how she's been learning a lot about dyslexia and different ways to help students with that. And she was saying how they were going to try some new techniques that she's learned about. They might not be new to everybody, but it was just, talking about the typography, like how large the letters should be or what type of font you should use, and more specifically the spacing between each letter and how that can help a student with dyslexia. And then we talked a little bit more about like having a background color on the slides that's maybe more of a pastel color, because there's some research about that and how you could print it, if you have notes and worksheets and stuff like that, printing it on that pastel colored paper would be helpful to students. So I'm going to do a little digging, see, if this is something, since dyscalculia and dyslexia and dysgraphia, they all kind of somehow overlap with a lot of students, maybe it's something to think about with our math worksheets and stuff, using certain types of fonts and, the numbers, zeros and O's. Sometimes a 3 and an 8 can look like an E or something. So just something to think about. We talked about science stuff, but then we also talked about how we can help, students with some differences and neurodivergency. So let me know if you've ever used any of those techniques or maybe something else.